Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 104 of Reaction Time Podcast. Today, we are talking about Mickey 17, which is a new movie from Bong Ho-Joon, something? Director of Parasite? I can't remember his name.
Oh, is it really?
I think, yeah, it's the same director as Parasite.
That's cool to know. Okay.
Stars Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, Steven somebody, Glenn from The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, all the most important people.
All the most important people. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I'm coming straight off of this movie.
Yeah, you just saw it like 2 seconds ago.
Sam saw this like last week? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh. It's been that long.
So it's a little fresher for you. So you may have to update my brain
to guide you
on some stuff. We're not going to do any spoilers for the first 10 or so minutes. And then we'll let you know when we jump into them. Right off the bat, Craig, since this is so fresh for you, what would you give this movie out of 10? Just right off, just a number.
Gosh. I don't know.
Give me something. Give me a number.
This is not quite to the... This is definitely not quite to the extreme of everything everywhere all at once. But I'm coming off of this not quite sure how I'm feeling.
I understand that.
I loved this movie, and I also didn't like this movie for certain reasons.
Yeah, I get that.
But I want to say something new, something original. I know it's based off of a book, but I don't know. I don't know how much this is based off of. I think the book's called Mickey 7, not 17. So I don't know the differences in the book. But I want to give props to the director for trying something. It's visually incredible. I mean, holy cow, I was not expecting that. Robert Pattinson gave the performance of his life in this movie. He was so good. I'll give it an 8.9.
Okay.
I'm not breaking the 9, but it's close.
Fair. Gotcha.
What are your thoughts?
So I'm going to give it a 5.9.
Okay. I thought you weren't going to love it.
The first 20 minutes, I would give like a 9.9.
Yes.
And then after that, like there are things about it that I like, but as a movie, I hated it after that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. And honestly, I mean, I'll just say it right now. It's mostly Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate him. Oh, I hate him as an actor and I hate him as a person. So like, it's both.
He was so over the top.
His acting was horrific. The writing of his character was bad, but on top of that, his acting was terrible.
I thought the writing of his character was hilarious, actually.
It was... no, I don't think it was funny. I think it was trying to be funny without being funny. But to each their own on that.
He felt like... Okay, so this is what it felt like. And I understand him and Toni Collette felt like they were in a different movie in comparison to this movie. They felt almost cartoonish, which I 100% agree with that. Yeah. But I also... The way he portrayed a typical politician felt very real because... politicians are very cartoonish in a lot of ways.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So, yes, he was over the top. He was definitely too much. That's the only thing I didn't love. But at the same time, I also thought he gave a really good performance for what he did. Like, I know you're eye rolling, and I know why, and I understand. But, like, and maybe this was because I went with my brother. I don't know. But he was laughing, during all the things that he was doing. So I was laughing during all this stuff that he was doing. And it felt so over the top, but like over the top to be funny to me. Distracting and annoying at times, 100%. I will not deny that. It was definitely too much.
And that's why I say watching a movie is 50% about who you watch it with, because I watched it all by myself. So it was truly like whatever I thought about it was going to be happening at the time.
Yeah.
And I just, it was, okay, so this is what I will say. Mickey 17, I think the thing that it benefited from the least was its genre. If they had decided, and I don't know what the book is or whatever, if this was a brand new movie, if they had decided to be a sci-fi drama and just that, I think it would have been an incredible movie. But I think they took what could have been that and turned it into this goofy attempted comedy.
Yeah,
and I
like
think
a dark comedy.
I think they ruined what could have been a really cool movie. And there were cool aspects about it, but I feel like that was on the back burner. And it was like, let's see if Mark Ruffalo can be super goofy and unlikable for 3 hours. So that's where I was like, I think they ruined it. That's my opinion.
And he's in it a lot, so.
And I didn't know this was going to be a comedy too going into it.
Oh, see, from the trailers, I guess I figured it was going to be a comedy. And so.
I didn't watch the trailers.
I know you didn't watch the trailers.
I only saw the teaser, and I don't think the teaser was comedic.
No.
And so I don't know.
I
I like the idea, and like that's why I like the first 20 minutes was because they were funny first of all, but also it was a cool setup, a cool idea. The entire reason why he goes to space is hilarious. That we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I like that aspect of it, but I thought even if they had scaled back the comedy 50% and like pushed the drama forward 50% and did a little bit more of like an equal dynamic, it would have worked better. Yeah. Just having it be a comedy with like 5% of like an actual dramatic story and purpose just didn't do it for me.
So and that's actually funny because I was feeling the exact opposite in terms of I thought the director did such a good job that a lot of the times it wasn't dramatic, but in those moments, I was like feeling something. I was like, dang, okay, I didn't think I cared about this, but I totally do. And you did a great job at making me feel something for something I didn't even realize that I cared about, you know? So not that like ever like fully, I wasn't like sitting there crying or anything, but I was just like, oh, dang, okay, this kind of hurts. Like, props to you because it was like, to me, it felt a lot like Get Out, where like Get Out has a lot of comedy aspects in it, but that's not the movie, right?
Yeah.
This one had a little bit more comedy aspects, and I think that was a central focus. And then there was that drama that was sprinkled in there. But I was like, oh, dang, okay, like I care about this thing. I didn't realize I cared about this thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think my biggest thing for me is it's been so cool to be able to see Robert Pattinson just totally break away from Twilight. Yeah. I mean, he is like, before with Twilight, he was the actor that nobody wanted. You went, oh, it's Robert Pattinson. I don't want to see that. He's a sparkly vampire, right?
Yeah.
And so it's so cool. The Batman, he was great as the Batman. And then this movie, him having to, this really isn't spoilers, but basically there's this thing that you can you can duplicate yourself after you die, right?
Yeah.
And one time they think he died, but he didn't, so they duplicate him, and so he has two of them. And you almost forgot that it was the same actor talking to himself because he portrayed the two characters so well.
No, and he did so good.
And they were so different. Yeah. And so I want to give props because it felt original, it felt new, it felt fresh. Yes, it was 1,000% over the top. And yes, it did bother me at times. But everything else was just very cool that it didn't bug me as much.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. People are saying, well, not people, a person. I saw a person say this. But I liked it. I think somebody said that Robert Pattinson and Millie Bobby Brown are on opposite trajectories right now because Robert Pattinson started in like a hated on franchise and has had to make a name for himself and get to the point where now he's giving like the best performances of his life, where Millie Bobby Brown gave the best performance of her life and basically her first thing in a beloved franchise, and has slowly gotten to the point where like I don't think she's that bad, but
weird.
Like I just watched The Electric State and she's not good in it.
No, I watched
like
part
also
of
Chris Pratt's not good in it. Like nobody's good in it. So like Giancarlo Esposito's bad in it. So I'm like, okay, this is probably more of a director fault.
Yes.
Everybody in that movie is kind of bad. So I'm like, oh, probably because like Stanley Tucci and like all these people, none of them are good. So I'm like, oh, it's the movie's fault. But anyway, I just think it's interesting that they're kind of on opposite trajectories.
Yeah, it is. So. It is funny. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. I 100%. I agree with that. Just because I thought she was great in Stranger Things, but when it focused a little bit more on like her actual acting rather than just like her powers acting, I didn't feel like she really hit that well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways.
Should we jump into spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it. I recommend the movie. It's different. It's weird. But it was fun.
Can I say who I would recommend it for? Because now this is one of the first movies ever where I would recommend it for a very specific group of people. And this is me being honest. I would say if you are an easy laugher, then I recommend this movie for you. But if you're picky about your comedy or you're not into comedies, I probably wouldn't go see this.
Yeah. And I'm an easy laugher.
And you're an easy laugher, which is a great quality to have.
Yeah, I'm just having a fun time.
You're just having a good time. I'm over there just like grumpy in my seat.
Yeah, dude. Why you got to be that way now?
So grumpy. But I'll tell you why. Okay, let's jump into spoilers.
Cool. Let's do it.
All
Visuals.
Right. So, visuals.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First off, I didn't even know this was going to be a sci-fi movie. Because even from the trailers, it was just about him duplicating himself, which I guess is sci-fi. But like, I guess I didn't expect there to be like this whole planet with aliens on it. But
yeah, that I didn't see coming. But
but props
it makes sense.
Props to the visuals. Holy cow, they looked great.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, just everything looked really good.
When they were like forming little mounds to like hide the big one, it all looked really good. And when there was like hundreds of thousands of them on the ground, like
no, the alien CGI dude was like better than it needed to be. So props to them on that for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So a few things. Towards the beginning, he's out in space, and they're using him as like an astronaut, like to fix ships and stuff on the outside. And something breaks off the ship and like flies by and just casually just slices his hand off. And it was that moment I was like, oh, it's going to be that kind of movie. And
the hand just floats.
The hand just floats
people are
off.
just talking.
It was so funny. And then I think right after that, they show him as a crash test dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like instead of using actual crash test dummies, they just use him. And it's just him in the car just slamming into a wall. So like that was really well done, first of all. And just visually hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, and this is another thing I love. There was a lot of little details in this movie that I appreciated. And my favorite one, so for those that haven't seen it, but they're listening to spoilers, basically they take your memory, they apply it to this machine, and it basically prints out a new body, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just in this big tube, and it just slowly pushes you out. But like old school printers, but printers that would push out and then come back a little bit to get like the ink and stuff, it did that. And I so appreciated just how funny and realistic it actually was, like a printer. I love that. Because the body kept going back in and forth every once in a while.
Well, and even on top of that, there were times where they'd forget to put the tray to catch his body. And so it's like the same with a printer. If you don't put the tray out, the paper will just slide onto the floor. Same thing happens with him. He just slides out and then just flops on the floor several times.
Yeah, it is. One time it's just like his butt, just front and center, and it was hilarious.
Oh, it was really funny. This one's like, we'll get into the reason and story, but visually it's hilarious. The macaroons are not a sin shirt. I like want one so bad.
We need to make that.
I wonder, can we? Well, first I want to know if I can buy it, and if I can't buy it, honestly, maybe we should make them and sell them.
Merch.
Let's see.
We won't get.
Somebody already made them.
In trouble.
You can't get in trouble for that.
Can you?
There's no chance.
Isn't that not copyright?
What would be copyright about that?
I mean, if you made the same thing as a movie, isn't that kind of copyright?
If somebody in a movie has a shirt that says, I like dogs, you can't copyright that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's just words and a clip art of macarons.
I know. It just feels like if you're copying it, it's copyright.
I don't think that's how copyright works. Hate to break it to you.
Isn't that how copyright works? Is you're copying something you don't have the right to?
No, copyright is a legal thing. It's not just like, oh, I copied him. Now I'm going to prison.
No, I know.
But somebody already made them, so we're late to the party.
Lame.
We'll sell them for cheaper.
Yeah.
How much are they? $23,000 US. Oh, that's just $23 US. Well, we'll see.
Oh, that's still, we can sell cheaper. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you saw this. The crazy one, the first one that kind of starts to clone himself, that like does all the serial killing with the homeless people.
Oh, yeah.
When they go to arrest him, I swear it was the Parasite house.
It kind of felt like that.
That the fancy people live in. I swear.
I don't think. Maybe it was.
The layout was the same. There was a big shot of the backyard that was this big, massive yard. Like when the kid goes out and camps. I was like, oh, yo, is this the Parasite house? I need to look it up.
Dang.
I'll do research and let you know.
Okay. Mark Ruffalo with veneers was just too much to handle. I mean, those teeth. Just already hate his dumb face, and then there was that.
Man, you're on the Mark Ruffalo hate train, dude.
It made sense. I haven't liked Mark Ruffalo in a long time.
Poor Things, and then this movie.
But like the thing that Poor Things really like really threw it into motion, and then this was like, okay, you're not a good actor. Mark Ruffalo's never been a good actor. That's the problem. Is like I don't think there's anything he's been in where I'm like, man, he's such a good actor.
That's
now,
true.
does he work as the Hulk? Yes.
Yeah.
But is he a good actor? No. He is not. He's not good in 13 going on 30. No, yeah, he's all right. He's fine.
Oh, I like him in 13 going on 30.
Hold on. That movie's great, but he's not good in it. He's not.
I mean, it's been a minute since I've watched it.
Yeah. I saw it like a year ago.
It's great.
It is great.
See, I don't know. I found his thing to be very funny a lot of the times.
Fair.
It was definitely over the top.
Fair. That's all of my visual notes. I mean, besides
I don't
just
have anything else other than the cool aliens.
CGI and I really loved the design of the aliens.
Yeah.
I think all of the work of when the two Robert Pattinsons are in a room together.
Yes.
Was just seamless.
It was seamless.
Everything looked great. They did a really, really good job at that.
I'm very curious how they did all that.
Yeah, visuals wise, I don't know if I have anything to docket points for.
No, even when they were like holding them, I mean, they looked like little models. Like they had built these aliens.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very good.
I think there was only one time where he was in like this big blizzard and it looked very green screen, which I know it is, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But like, other than that, $199. I mean, because everything else looked perfect.
And the explosion.
Explosion was
What did you think about the
good.
explosion?
I thought it was
Do you think it was great?
Yeah.
It was definitely serviceable.
It was much bigger than it probably should have been.
Yeah, but it was still good. I'll give it a $199 as well.
Okay.
Very good. Okay. So story.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. This is what I love most about the story. And this is why I'm like, this is basically where I can give credit to the movie. So the beginning, the plot is basically people are leaving Earth because it sucks or whatever, right? Whatever. Yeah. They're going to different planets, different like companies and different groups of people are going to different planets. Robert Pattinson's friend talks him into starting a macaroon restaurant because he says that they're going to be bigger than hamburgers. And so, because his friend is one of those guys who's like, oh, he's always scheming and
he's the crypto guy.
You just trust him for some reason. And so they start this restaurant. They take out a loan from a loan shark. Obviously, it doesn't do very well. And then they come to kill him.
Yep.
And he gets away and he's like, best thing I can do is leave the planet, which is a good plan. And I just think that the fact that the entire setup for the movie is that he owes money on a macaron restaurant is the funniest thing ever.
It's perfect.
I loved it. So like when we get to that point where he's leaving and his buddy somehow has gotten a job as a pilot.
Yeah, pilot.
Even though he's only taken one flying lesson and he has to be an expendable because there's like no other positions left.
Yeah.
That to me is so funny. And then there were like funny things after it, but then the story just kind of got like kind of weird.
Well, he didn't even read what an expendable was.
No, I know, but that
like,
there I think is so clever and so funny. I just loved it.
Well, yeah, they were like, you read the pamphlet, and he's like, yeah, and then they like cuts, and he's like, I didn't read the pamphlet. I don't know what this job is.
Yeah,
the thing that was the funniest thing is so they capture them. They capture the two people, right? And this loan shark has all the money in the world. And his only existence at this point is not to get the money from the people that he lends the money from. He just wants to watch them die. Like they record it, and he wants to watch them die, right? And they have these like dual chainsaws, which I don't know why, but they're cool.
Yeah.
So they have like these dual chainsaws where he's like just cutting up people in different ways and wants to watch it, right? And so they like read this letter of how like, no matter where you are in the world, he will find you. And then he's like, so I left the world, you know? It's just like
and he still ends up finding him in the end.
And he still ends up finding him in the end. Yeah, he's got this assistant that ends up finding him.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny, so I left.
Yeah. I think after that, there were some things I liked and then some things I didn't like. I thought just all of the ways that he had to die were funny. Mm-hmm. I liked kind of how he fell in love with the girl and then he was like kind of bugged by her, but then still wanted to be with her. It's just, I don't know.
And then
that was funny.
And I did like the more very human aspect that when she realizes that there's two of them, she's like, oh, yeah, we could have some fun.
Yeah.
She's like, what if I was cloned? What would you want to be doing?
Yeah, because like, who wouldn't?
Look, I get it. You're right. Yeah. So I did like that. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah. Basically, what I didn't like was I feel like the story stopped focusing on him and started focusing on Mark Ruffalo's power trip with the aliens.
Yeah, it did.
And that it was just such a less interesting story to me.
Yes, I agree.
Even outside of the goofiness of it, it just was like, oh, I would have way rather focused on Mickey and just like all of the things that he has to go through.
Yeah.
And like he was a part of it, but he almost turned into a side character.
Yeah, he did.
Once they got to the planet and got everything set up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got to dock some points for that for sure.
The things that I will say, the things that I didn't realize I cared about when it happened was the little creatures. When they killed the one, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to die right now.
Yeah, and it's like a caterpillar. One? It's like a fuzzy caterpillar.
Yeah, so cute.
Roly-poly thing. And you're like, oh, I don't care about these. And then you're like, wait, I care about these a lot.
Yeah. They start shooting it, and I'm like, no, wait, hold on, don't do this. And then they hook the other one, and they start to drop it down into lava, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they going to kill another one? Like, I started freaking out. So I thought they did that all very well. And I thought the Mickey 18 arc was really good. It was very fast.
Yeah, it was quick, but
again,
it was good.
He was a sideline rather than the main focus. But when he decides to blow himself up, I was like, okay, you're getting me. Like, that's good. So that's where I'm like, the drama in certain ways, and where they didn't really spend any time on it, did work very well. And props to him to be able to do that. But yes, I agree with basically everything that you're saying. Because Mark Ruffalo's character was not as interesting at all as Robert Pattinson's character. And I wish he would have just died a little earlier, and then maybe Mickey 17 was trying to calm the aliens or work with them or something like that happen. But there was some things. I mean, like when they're driving out and it's Mark Ruffalo and it's the camera team and they're like talking about his speech that he's going to send like back to the world. Like that was funny. Like I was laughing. Like there's just this horde of aliens and they're sitting there like, how does my makeup look and like all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, he's so dumb, right?
Yeah,
he's just beyond dumb, which is funny.
Yeah. When we did Looper, that was your first time seeing it, right?
Yes.
Do you remember what you thought that movie was going to be? Do you remember kind of the anticipation of like, oh, this is probably going to be dope?
Yes.
Like I had in my mind what I thought the movie was going to be, so I was like really excited for it. I see a version of Mickey 17 in my mind that is similar to what I thought Looper was going to be. And I know that's such a convoluted statement, but like this mystery, multiple people, like action movie. That to me feels so cool. Like imagine prime era Christopher Nolan Mickey 17 movie. It's not a comedy. Right. That's what I wanted. That's what I kind of thought this was going to be. And I still think that that's what would have been a better movie.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I agree with you.
I do like a lot of bits and pieces of the writing of this, and I don't think overall it's bad. I think really the issue is, and this seems crazy, but I really think like the issue is Mark Ruffalo's character and his wife. Like that dynamic is what ruined the movie for me. Pretty much everything outside of that is actually very good. A lot of the ideas, the tones, the dialogue, all that kind of stuff is like really clever and new and good. So it's like that's where I'm having trouble because like outside of that, I think this movie is like a 9.
Yeah.
But with all of that, because it was so much of the movie, that's where I have to take away from it. So that's why I'm like, it's not a bad movie, but I didn't like it because of the amount of focus on this bad thing. So it's kind of weird. It's like I don't know.
You could say it's like anime to you, where the anime can create a very good story, acting, score, visuals, but you don't like it because of what it is. Yeah. And you can see that, and that's fine. Yeah. And I there's nothing wrong that you did enjoy it in a lot of ways. It was just as a whole, you were really put off by one choice that they made, but they stuck with that choice, and it was a very prominent choice throughout the entire movie. And so if Mark Ruffalo and his wife had this little section, and then when he went out into space, they disappeared, it wouldn't have bothered you.
Yeah, or if they were truly side characters. Like they just pop up every once in a while, do something super goofy, and then dip. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Yeah.
So I genuinely thought the story was pretty good. The beginning is definitely the best. Perfect, great. I did like what they did do with the aliens. I thought that was cool. But yes, I do think that it started to lessen the more they focused on Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette rather than focusing on Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
So I'll do a 180.
Okay.
Because I still think it was very good. There was just some of it that bugged me.
Yeah. I'll go 143.
Okay.
Yeah. Someday. Maybe we'll get like a director's cut. And it's just they cut Mark Ruffalo.
They just cut Mark Ruffalo out of it.
Can I get a VidAngel version that's just sans Mark Ruffalo?
It's a Zack Snyder a Zack Snyder cut, and it's just no Mark Ruffalo.
Which brings us to our next point, the acting.
Yeah, this is going to be rough for you because you got 200 Robert Pattinson, and you got maybe like a 4 Mark Ruffalo. Does he even get that high?
I'd give him like a 7. I'm a nice guy.
You're a nice guy.
You know. So here's the thing. We've kind of discussed them. People can feel how they feel about, them. What did you think about the girlfriend? And also, what else has she been in?
I don't know. I thought she was good.
Naomi Ackie. I was kind of like back and forth on her. Oh, she was in Star Wars. That's why I immediately hated her. She was in The Rise of Skywalker. I saw her and I was like, something about you I don't like. And it was that. Literally, it probably was.
I liked her. I didn't think I thought she did a good job.
Okay. I was kind of like back and forth.
I think when she was drugged, she didn't seem correct.
Yeah.
Like they didn't drug her in real life, which I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Yeah. Weird. What about his friend, Timo?
He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was a normal character. I mean, he didn't really have a lot of time to shine. When he starts getting like the camera to like cut him up because the guy found him, I thought he did well in that scene.
Yeah.
And I think the only other really like person is the other girl.
Yeah.
And she was fine. Gemma. And then all the research and development people, which they were all fine. The head honcho research and development guy was funny. I don't know why. He was just so like, I have to, do everything Mark Ruffalo says. And so just the way he talked was funny.
Yeah.
And then his bald assistant did fine, but
yeah. So I think it's another one of those ones where it's like the main guy is so good, and then it's a bunch of side characters who are like either good or kind of like forgettable good, but nobody super stand out ish.
No.
So
what are you going to give it?
Mark Ruffalo's so bad, and so is his wife, his fake wife. Oof. Robert Pattinson also did so good.
He did so good. Mickey 17 and 18 were so good.
I'm going to give it a 168.
Okay. Dang, you gave him some points.
Who? Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave him some points. I'm being generous today. I'm a nice guy, okay?
Yeah, he's definitely 200. I'll do 179.
What would you give Mark Ruffalo for real? Out of 200 on this?
I'd like 150.
Oh, okay. I give him probably like, honestly, probably a 40, 48.
Okay. I guess to me, he felt like he was playing the role he was supposed to play. And I thought
That's
he
fair.
played it well.
Yeah.
But it was annoying.
Yeah. Okay, so music and sound.
Yeah. I don't remember much after I just saw it.
So the music actually was this is what I wrote down. The music is really good in kind of the first third or so, especially at the very beginning. It really like sets the tone of the movie and is very, very good. And then it kind of just disappears.
Yeah, well, even
not that it doesn't exist, but it just
I guess with
it does, huh?
all the aliens outside, I don't even know if there's music during that or if it's just the sound effects of like the wind.
Yeah, but like at the beginning, I was like,
fine.
It's really good.
You don't need music during everything.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of lack of sound.
Yeah. Here's how I know it was good at the beginning, though, is because it is actually super rare for me to make a note of the music during it.
Yeah.
Very rare. Unless it's a movie I've seen or if it's like a soundtrack with songs I know, that's different.
Right.
But if it's like a cinematic score, it's really rare that I like notice it and like, oh, I need to write this down. But I did write it down. So I know that at least part of it was good, but I do remember it kind of disappearing more in the second half of the movie, which is odd.
And I think, the sound effects were good. The aliens I thought sounded cool.
Yeah.
They fit what they were supposed to do. I thought it was very funny that they were talking about doing their high-pitched thing and your eyes would explode.
Yeah.
And then they tell them to do it, and then they do it, and it doesn't do anything. And that they were bluffing the whole time. Oh, I forgot to make a note in story. My favorite quote was, I think it was Toni Collette, and she was like, they look like croissants dipped in shit. I was like, that literally is what it looks like.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh, man, score. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember much. It wasn't, 140. I don't know. I don't remember much.
Yeah, I'll go one. Well, I'll go 151.
You did make a note. So
I did make a note. I made a note. It was an important note. I also think the sound design was good of when they were printing him, when he would die, when he'd blow up. Oh, another story thing. When they just send him outside to test the air and then just do that a million times so that and he just keeps dying so they can make the vaccination. Also hilarious. Props to them for that.
He was literally the test subject.
Yeah. Okay. So the vibe. Where are you at on vibe for this?
I'm pretty high. It was fun. It was different. I appreciate it being different, I'm hoping this year is kind of the year to really break away from just the same thing over and over again. Obviously we've got Snow White,
which is funny because we've got Snow White, 3 superhero movies, and a Jurassic Park coming up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And we got the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, but we can go see the other stuff that's not the giant IPs.
Yeah. We
the Amateur's coming out in a couple weeks.
8.
Oh, yeah, and Mission Impossible. Yes.
But that's going to be cool, okay?
So different. Yeah,
I'll do a 190. I had fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go 98.
Okay.
Because it feels like that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some comps. Like I gave it a 71. And I'm like, I definitely had more fun in this.
Yeah.
Let's see, what got an 86? FNAF? Yeah. This definitely is kind of like FNAF. This was a little better than FNAF for me because like FNAF almost none of it I was like a fan of. So yeah, I think that's pretty fair. All right, Craig. Ooh. Out of 1,000 points, where do you think you're at?
Dang.
Take a wild guess.
898.
Oh, that's probably really close.
Yeah, it's actually probably low.
I'm going to say 624. Ooh. You gave it 888, loser.
Oh, dang.
And I gave it 759.
Oh, dang. Wow.
Yeah.
That's higher than I thought.
I know. But in all fairness, that's visuals.
And acting.
Pretty much. And acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my vibe was actually lower than my out of 10. If you
It was. Yeah, because you were 5.9. So,
yeah. Yeah, interesting. So have you seen box office for this yet?
I have. Not super recently, like a few days ago.
So it's currently at 110.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was at like 105 or something.
Yeah.
Budget of 118.
Yeah.
So props to them for 118 million to make that movie.
Yeah, I think they did a good job on that front. I've heard, this might be totally fake. I've heard that there's a possibility that Batman 2 is getting delayed even further because they're worried that Robert Pattinson movies basically don't bring in numbers.
Oh.
Which is interesting. I mean, that's always a thing. Like, that's why Colin Farrell isn't a movie star, is because he's never had a movie that he was the main character of ever like make money ever for some reason.
And I mean, people that didn't ever give him a chance, I can see that because they will just see Robert Pattinson and they'll be like, oh, gross, Twilight.
Right. Like I heard they were waiting to see what the box office of Mickey 17 was to decide when to shoot Batman or if to make it at all, which I think is crazy.
First Batman good?
It wasn't great. Decently? Wasn't it 300s?
Oh, dang. Was it that low?
Yeah, I don't think it did awesome. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. 772.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so make a sequel. I don't know.
Which is lower, though, if you think of all the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, but
that's more DC.
I just don't see how you pass.
Pattinson.
I don't see how you pass that profit up, even just from a business standpoint.
I know.
You're like guaranteeing yourself at least 500 on that.
At least.
I don't know. Weird. Okay, so we're at 110. It opened to... Did it open at 19? Or is that just... Yeah.
Is that just domestic?
Domestic weekend. Let's see. Yeah, that was domestic. I don't know if I can see a worldwide box. Let's see. Mickey 17 worldwide opening weekend.
Worldwide.
Nothing's helping. It says 9 million now. It got lower. I don't know. It's projected to lose 75 million.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't even know if it's really going to move at all.
I know it might not. So this is where we're going to get. This is where we're going to get real close.
Oh my gosh.
We're at 110 right now.
110
for a little bit of what am I trying to say? A comparison. Captain America is currently making somewhere around $1 million a day.
Okay.
Where it's at right now. So I'm coming up with a number. Mickey 17 has now been out for 2 weeks. 2 full weekends. No, 3 full weekends. Right?
No, you went and saw it.
If I saw it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw it after weekend 1. It's been out 3 weeks. Okay, I have a number.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Okay, I think I have a number 2.
Okay, on the count of 3. On the count of 3, you go first.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
127.
129. Ooh. Oh. Let's go. Wow. I mean, we're truly just at like high or low here.
Yeah, basically, if it gets below 127, I win. If it gets really anything above 127, you're more than likely going to win.
Pretty much. Interesting. This is the closest we've ever been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed. Captain America passed 400, but
really
not enough to make any money.
Nope. Screw Captain America.
Yep.
I almost went 125, and then I was like, I'll bump it up to 127 at the last second.
Bad move.
Bad move.
Bad move.
Cool.
Well, that's Mickey 17.
That's Mickey 17.
You're going to go watch the 2 episodes of Daredevil now?
2? Was there 2 this week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, frick.
I know.
Now it's 10:30.
So
I'm going to go to bed.
I know, me too.
Did you ever watch the last episode?
Of Daredevil?
Yeah, did you finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, last time I talked, you hadn't finished it.
Oh, I hadn't?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I finished it.
Yeah, one good scene.
Well, I think I finished it.
And the rest was...
Now I can't even remember if I finished it or not.
I don't know.
The show is it's interesting because it's technically I think it's good, but it's not what I wanted.
No, I would say it's good if it was a Better Call Saul ripoff.
Yeah, but even that there's less legal stuff than Better Call Saul. I wouldn't even call it a ripoff. It's not even close enough.
Yeah. It's not what I wanted, and I knew it wasn't going to be what I wanted.
Next week, a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I'm seeing it Saturday.
Then The Amateur. Then The Last of Us. Then You, Season 5. Then Andor, Season 2. All in a month. Let's go!
Andor, let's go.
Wow, never sleeping again.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the Minecraft movie on the 5th.
Okay.
So we'll still need something for next week.
Okay.
So
we'll figure something out because there's plenty.
Yep.
There's plenty to go. We'll go see Snow White. Just me and Craig together watching Snow White holding hands in the theater. Fine, or not.
Well, as long as we're holding hands, then it's okay. If we're not holding hands, I don't want to go. And as long as we're singing along.
Yeah.
Let's go to the sing-along version.
Because I know all the songs.
Yeah. Oh, Wicked is streaming on Peacock now. I'm going to watch it.
It is. We've already watched it.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I can't wait for you to watch it because it's so good. All right. I'm going to bring us home.
Yay.
Thanks for listening today, and join us next week for another episode of Rapid Energy, allowing coordination to influence outcomes naturally. Wow. Targeting instant movements efficiently. And that is all for today, folks. Guten Bye and Guten Nacht.
Dang.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.